What would you do if a squad of armed men showed up at your ranch, flashing fake badges, demanding to search your home, claiming they were HOA police? Most people would panic. Most people would hand over their keys. But I'm not most people. I'm a former Navy SEAL. And the night they tried to raid my ranch, they had no idea what kind of war they had just started. My name is Ethan Cole. After serving 15 years as a Navy SEAL, deployments in Iraq, Afghanistan, and covert missions I can't even talk about, I retired to a quiet ranch in Texas. I wanted nothing more than wide open skies, the sound of horses in the pasture, and the freedom I had fought for overseas. But freedom, I learned, is something some people will do anything to take away. That's where the Maple Creek HOA came in. When I bought the ranch, I was told it was outside HOA jurisdiction. My land was mine, no restrictions. But the nearby HOA board saw my land as a problem. Why? Because my property wasn't under their thumb, and to control men like me, they'd stop at nothing. It started with letters. Your fence doesn't meet community standards. Your barn is an eyesore to our neighborhood. Remove the American flag you fly. It's too large. I laughed at first. Their HOA didn't even have authority here. But the tone shifted. Neighbors whispered that Gregory Shaw bragged he had friends in law enforcement, that he could make people's lives hell if they didn't obey. Still, I ignored them until the night the fake cops came. It was 11:47 p.m. My dog started barking like mad. I looked out the window and saw flashing red and blue lights. 3 black SUVs pulled up to my gate. 8 men jumped out, wearing tactical vests marked HOA Enforcement Division. I almost laughed until I saw they were carrying rifles. One man, tall, bald, with a fake badge hanging around his neck, barked through a megaphone. "This is the HOA police. Step out of your home immediately. Your property is under inspection for violations." HOA police? There was no such thing. That's when it hit me. These weren't real cops. They were hired muscle, impersonating law enforcement, trying to intimidate me. Unfortunately for them, they picked the wrong ranch. Training never leaves you. I killed the lights, grabbed my night vision goggles, and moved silently through the house. Years of missions overseas had sharpened me for nights exactly like this. From the shadows of my porch, I studied them. Bad stance. No trigger discipline. Cheap tactical gear from a surplus store. Amateurs. They thought they were predators, but tonight, they were prey. I slipped out the back, circled wide, and flanked them at the gate. The bald leader was shouting, "Break the lock! We'll drag him out if we have to!" I stepped from the darkness, my shotgun leveled. "You boys lost? Because this sure doesn't look like a lawful operation to me." They spun around, startled. One raised his rifle. I fired. Blam! A warning shot into the dirt, dust exploding at his feet. The message was clear. I wasn't playing games. "Next one goes center mass," I growled. "Drop your weapons, now." 2 of them panicked, tossing rifles to the ground. The bald leader snarled, "You can't threaten us. We're officers of the HOA." I smirked. Funny. Last I checked, the HOA doesn't issue badges, but the FBI sure takes an interest in people impersonating federal agents. I forced them onto their knees, zip-tied their hands with the same gear I kept from my service days, and called the county sheriff. When deputies arrived, their jaws dropped at the sight. 8 so-called HOA cops kneeling in the dirt, rifles scattered, their fake IDs lined up on the hood of my truck. The sheriff muttered, "Ethan, what the hell did you stumble into?" Turned out, Gregory Shaw had hired a private security group, ex-cons and mercenaries, to pose as HOA enforcers. Their plan was to raid my ranch, scare me into signing community compliance papers, and hand over monthly dues. It was nothing short of organized crime. The news exploded. HOA hires fake cops to terrorize homeowner, stopped by a former Navy SEAL. Gregory Shaw was arrested for conspiracy, fraud, and impersonating law enforcement. His enforcers faced charges ranging from weapons violations to attempted extortion. Neighbors who had lived in fear for years finally came forward, telling reporters about fines, threats, even property sabotage. The entire HOA collapsed under state investigation. As for me, I went back to my ranch, poured myself a glass of bourbon, and sat on the porch with my dogs at my feet. Freedom had been tested, but freedom won. Some HOAs act like they're small governments with armies at their command. They forget that intimidation only works on the weak. But when you try to raid a Navy SEAL's home with fake cops, you don't just fail, you get crushed.